In Oklahoma, mild weather and an endless food supply have pushed feral hog numbers to a critical level. A single sounder of just 20 to 30 hogs can tear up several acres of land in one night. That's why the state authorizes licensed control teams to protect crops, protect farmers, and protect the land itself. So the Rapid Response Team is formed. And with it, a hard, relentless war against these wild animals began. We don't hunt for sport. We hunt because it's our responsibility. Up ahead on the trail, every sense kicks in a high gear. One faint sound, a shift in the wind. That's all it takes to know the hogs are close, hiding somewhere just out of sight. 1 second of carelessness, and a farmer loses an entire season's work. Before releasing the dogs, we check the wind. That's a rule you don't break. Hogs have an incredible sense of smell. If the wind shifts, they'll change direction instantly. Fresh rooting marks. Wet mud still clinging to the ground. The sounder passed through not long ago. This is our window, the perfect chance to close in without being detected. Once the target shows itself clearly, we move fast and decisively. The mission to protect a year's worth of hard-earned crops begins right here. We barely have time to secure the first take when the radio crackles to life. Second sounder just split off, heading southeast, moving fast. Thomas's team gets the call immediately. They move into position, setting up an ambush along the hog's escape route. Using the terrain, they build a natural funnel, forcing the hogs into a narrow corridor where the shooters can maintain full control. 2 other team members swing wide to flank, ready in case the hogs try to break pressure and change direction. Every move, every position, calculated down to the smallest detail, all for one purpose: keeping this land safe from one of the smartest and most dangerous invasive animals out there. Hidden deep in the brush, Thomas stays completely still. Branches and leaves block most of his view. The hog stops, lifts its head slightly to check the wind. Ears tilt, listening. That's classic pre-break behavior, right before they bolt. Thomas commits to the plan without hesitation. And when the moment comes, he handles it clean, fast, precise, control. Even seasoned hunters watching can't help but respect the level of calm he maintains in the most intense situations. After the echoes fade, the woods grow quiet again. But we know better. This is no time to relax. Because of thorough preparation, even unexpected breakouts are already accounted for. When targets burst out in unpredictable directions, every shot is still taken from a safe position with a controlled firing lane. No risk to the surroundings. No impact on non-target wildlife. That's our core rule. Effectiveness with responsibility. Feral hogs are smart. They know how to use terrain to disappear fast. We study compacted soil patches and narrow trails running along brush lines. These are the routes hogs rely on to move unseen. The team adjusts positions accordingly, cutting off their natural escape lanes. When the target appears, the intercept is immediate, ending the tension in a single second. In thick brush like this, fast communication equals safety. We split into 3 small units. One group pushes the hogs out of cover, one blocks escape, routes the last holds distance. Ready to respond to anything unexpected, this pressure and block strategy is extremely effective against large sounders. Within hours, each hog is forced out of hiding. Controlled shots echo across the area. By the time the last light fades, the sounder is fully contained. For now, we've taken back a fragile balance in this area. But deep in the woods, larger and smarter sounders are still waiting for their chance to strike. This fight isn't just about hunting. It's about protecting farmers, protecting the land, and keeping the ecosystem from collapsing. If you want to ride along with us on these dangerous but meaningful missions, don't forget to hit subscribe. What's coming next will be even more intense and even more real.
From above, the fields on the slopes of California are clearly visible, with the destructive trails left by wild boars unmistakable through the flycam lens. The crops are being gradually destroyed, and the threat posed by these wild boars is more serious than ever. Despite all the protective measures in place, they continue to wreak havoc mercilessly. Today, we must face this threat head-on and stop it. Fully equipped and armed, we rely on the flycam data to approach the position, ready to stop the wild boars who are threatening to destroy the crops. Through our advanced binoculars, we spot them from nearly 1 kilometer away. There they are. The truth proves that composure and courage can overcome anything. The first shot serves as a warning that they cannot freely destroy this land. The first shot sends the wild boar herd into a panic, causing them to scatter and hide carefully. Their response time is impressive. A single moment of inattention could cause us to lose track. The air grows tense. We quickly deploy into a tight circular formation, closing in step by step. After a few minutes of searching, a familiar sound breaks the silence. Everything is ready. The tightening of the trap means there's no escape for them. How would you rate this shot? Like, comment, and let me know. This area is now under control. I immediately grab my 16 Pro Max and call Nick. Check the trail, see if any are lurking around. Alone with only his weapon, could he handle it if the wild boars show up unexpectedly? The answer is yes. This victory comes from bravery, determination, and daily training. But all of this is done under the permission of local authorities to prevent wild animals from destroying this land. We quickly move to the eastern slope, where the alarm has gone off. Oh, look! There's no time to hesitate. The shot is fired. After a series of shots, the massive beast collapses right on the spot. Time is running out. If we don't control this area quickly, they will invade the crops below. If you support these actions, don't forget to like and share. Before the echo of the shots has even died down, new targets quickly appear. With quick reflexes, like instinct deeply ingrained in us, every move becomes precise and natural. Each wild boar charging out cannot escape the net of bullets waiting for them. This is the result of sharp tactics and well-honed skills, helping us overcome every challenge the wild beasts present. After hours of intense combat, the footprints left in the earth are a clear sign that this battle isn't over yet. A tense chase erupts, unforgiving. Only the most steady shooters, with skill and unbreakable resolve, can close the long-range moving shot. And that's when the hunt ends, bringing peace to the crops below. A wild hog hunt begins with more urgency than ever before. In this region, feral hogs have become an invasive force, causing millions of dollars in agricultural damage. Our mission today is clear: control their numbers and protect the local ecosystem. Using the dense forest terrain to our advantage, the team quickly launched a fast-paced sweep and intercept strategy. Modern rifles were locked in, tracking gear ready. This isn't just a hunt. This is a survival race for environmental and economic balance. The decisive battle for order has officially begun. We set out at daybreak, immediately deploying the strategy mapped out from the start. Soon after, I spotted a herd moving along the hillside. Seizing the tactical opportunity, I targeted and dropped the largest hog in the group. Taking down that first key target disrupted the herd and gave us a huge tactical advantage, an excellent beginning for the hog control mission. Moments later, startled by the gunshot, another herd bolted through a narrow passage, scrambling for escape. We had already predicted this route. Without hesitation, we opened fire and took down several critical targets. Back-to-back wins lit a fire in the whole team. We were ready for the next chase. My teammate Jack then showed impressive tactical instincts. He quickly cut off the escape path of a panic-stricken hog. The animal ran straight into Jack's ambush zone. Wasting no time, he squeezed the trigger and dropped the target instantly. His decisive action eliminated another threat and helped secure peace for the area. From a ridge across the valley, I continued scanning the terrain and spotted a hog that had let its guard down. Sensing the perfect opportunity, I took the shot and brought it down immediately. Its moment of carelessness came with a price, another step toward restoring safety to this land. Using long-range sweep tactics, Jack detected another moving target far in the distance. He dialed in his scope, made his adjustments, and let a precise burst of shots fly, leaving the hog no room to escape. Eventually, the target fell, proving Jack's exceptional long-range shooting skills, the mark of a seasoned, battle-tested hunter. The final target, a massive boar, charged out from a thick patch of brush. We had predicted its path. In an instant, it was met with a clean, well-placed shot that brought it down, closing today's hunt with a decisive and complete finish. The last gunshot faded, marking the end of the mission. Our greatest achievement today was taking control of the destructive herd and restoring peace to the local community. We packed up carefully, ensuring every harvested animal was properly recorded in full compliance with US hunting laws and bag limits. Every fall, Texas comes alive with high-stakes competitions where contestants dare to face some of the smartest, fastest breeding, and most destructive beasts roaming this land. This year, 6 competitors stepped into the challenge, each armed with a different tool, all fully licensed by the local authorities. The contest isn't about numbers, it's about how well they handle real danger in real situations. Stay with us until the very end to witness the sharpest tactics, the boldest moves, and cast your vote for the most impressive takedown of the season. The action kicked off with an airboat chase, where every movement required perfect sync between the driver and the hunter. High speed, wide open swamp, and an unpredictable target turned every second into pure tension. The moment the hog was spotted, our first contestant proved his nerves of steel. With flawless mobility and calm precision, he made his move. In a split second, the target was taken cleanly, an opening shot that set the tone for the entire competition. Once away from the roar of the airboat, the world turned quiet, but not any less dangerous. Wild hogs can detect a hunter in an instant, their senses razor sharp. Hiding within the damp underbrush, the contestant focused intensely. Every rustle, every unfamiliar scent could signal the hog's presence. And then, the perfect window appeared. A clean, controlled shot stopped the hog and prevented it from making another destructive step. I was genuinely impressed by contestant number 3's ability to read the land. Just from faint tracks left in the mud, he led us straight to a hog bedding area. The second the moment aligned, his first shot locked onto that powerful shadow. More hogs burst through the chaos, but every squeeze of the trigger was measured, steady, and decisive. In that storm of movement, his reflexes and marksmanship carried the day. A clever trap was set deep in the woods. Corn bait laid out quietly, luring hogs into a kill zone. The results exceeded all expectations. Not just one hog, but an entire group showed up, turning the scene into a wild feast. He adjusted his scope and fired. Every hog that stepped into his sights was dispatched cleanly. Wave after wave fell, securing the area and completing the mission with absolute efficiency. Contestant number 5 faced a tough challenge, maneuvering an ATV through thick Texas brush in search of his target, but his confidence never wavered. He knew this terrain as if it were his own backyard, and he understood hog behavior like reading a familiar book. He pushed forward, and there it was. One shot, one kill. The feral hog went down instantly. His determination shone through, a true protector of the farmlands threatened by these destructive animals. Relying on muddy wallows that hogs regularly visited, the last contestant picked the perfect ambush spot, an absolute choke point. The hogs had no idea that their favorite hangout had become a death trap. The setup was simple but airtight, no escape routes, and when the hog stepped in, its fate was sealed. The swamp was finally free from their grip. No more destruction, no more fear, just peaceful nights ahead for the farmers who depend on this land. This year's competition proved the courage, skill, and grit of every contestant who stepped into the wild Texas terrain. On snow-covered mountain peaks, where the cold can freeze everything in its path, wild boars endure thanks to their thick fur and protective fat. Braving the bitter chill, they charge down into farmlands, destroying crops during the harsh winter. They overturn everything in their path, ravaging fields and even attacking local farmers. Unable to stand by, brave hunters step into the icy wilderness to protect this land. Can they triumph over both the harsh weather and these formidable animals? The moments that follow will reveal all. We move toward the western hillside, where the snow has just begun to melt. This should be where the wild boars show up, John says. The hunting dogs are released, targeting the lone boars, the ones responsible for the heaviest damage to the area. It doesn't take long. The dogs successfully drive the first target right toward me. Here it comes. With a precise shot, the attack is over. This beast must weigh over 200 kilograms. A serious threat eliminated. Victory achieved, we continue upward to areas where the snow still clings, seizing the moment to prevent the herd from advancing as the weather warms. Far across the snowy slopes, we can see isolated boars and small groups gathering. We deploy our strategy, focusing first on the lone animals. At a distance of over 300 meters, John takes the shot. A loud crack, and the target drops immediately. Remaining targets, from near to far, are locked down by our team's expert marksmen. Discipline, experience, and seamless teamwork prevent a devastating storm from sweeping through the fields. Although it looks effortless, don't be fooled by John's long-range shots. Such precision comes from strict discipline and years of training. On the hunt, binoculars become a critical weapon, capturing every movement across the snow. Dark shapes slowly emerge against the white backdrop. Locking onto a distant target isn't just about hitting the bullseye, it's about calculating movement, distance, and trajectory to ensure a perfect shot. Each fallen shadow is not only a victory, but a promise that crops are protected and peace is maintained. Meanwhile, on the western slope, Nick's sharp instincts spot a herd basking in a patch of exposed snow. A shot rings out, and he pursues the fleeing boars. But despite his effort, he can't match their incredible speed. He quickly pulls out his iPhone 16, signaling the team for backup. Minutes later, the full team arrives, encircling the area. No boar escapes. If this part thrills you, hit like and share. It fuels us to bring even more epic encounters. The hunt continues. Fresh tracks in the snow lead Nick and me straight to a massive wild boar. In that moment, our weapons are not just tools, they are sharp warnings, putting an end to the chaos these beasts bring to our land. As darkness falls, we decide to sweep the area one last time before heading home. Any remaining prey is swiftly neutralized. The region is safe again, and the livelihood and security of the local people are preserved from a fierce winter onslaught. forest lay blanketed in snow, harsh and unforgiving. Yet our mission to hunt wild hogs began, driven by necessity, not trophies. We weren't hunting for sport, we were hunting to survive. The herd had been rampaging through the village's scarce food stores, threatening the community's very survival through the winter. Our team stepped carefully into the snowy woods, every footfall heavy, carrying the weight of protecting both life and livelihood. Rifles loaded, resolve steel strong, we braced ourselves against both the cold and the ferocious threat. The battle for survival had officially begun, with snow falling thick around us. Don't take your eyes off the screen. The action is about to get intense. Recognizing the urgency, the team immediately deployed a tactical patrol to break up the herd along pre-marked paths. Minutes later, we came face to face with the wild hogs. Without hesitation, I squeezed the trigger and took down a massive boar instantly. That single shot shattered their formation, sending the remaining pigs fleeing across the snow. Plan B was activated immediately. The team swiftly shifted to hunting lone targets, neutralizing the threat one by one. The hunt was heating up like never before. Snowfall intensified, obscuring visibility and making patrols more dangerous. We moved with extra caution. Just then, a teammate came face to face with a large herd crossing the forest trail. Survival instincts kicked in. He fired immediately, dropping one hog. Even with limited sight, this lightning-quick strike reduced the threat moving swiftly through the forest. The weather grew harsher, biting winds and heavy snow, but we pressed on carefully, patiently navigating the terrain. Our persistence paid off. A target appeared among the snow-covered trees. I seized the moment, held my breath, and squeezed the trigger. One perfect shot, hog neutralized. This victory reaffirmed the skill, precision, and professionalism of our team under the harshest winter conditions. No time to rest after the previous shot. Another familiar shadow emerged from the snowy distance. Alex, my teammate, waited patiently, following the cardinal rule, never shoot hastily. Once the hog was fully exposed and unaware, he pulled the trigger decisively. Accuracy and patience yielded total elimination of the threat. Tracking the herd's movement, I quickly positioned myself for an ambush. Despite the freezing cold, I stayed patient. The heavy thuds of the hog's footsteps in the snow grew closer. I breathed deeply, regaining full calm. When the herd charged, I fired with precision, one shot after another, reloading seamlessly. Each hog was handled calmly but efficiently, speed and accuracy delivering absolute victory for the team. We climbed into the 2025 Ranger, ready to return along the snow-covered trail. Suddenly, rustling from the roadside caught our attention. No hesitation. Alex, ever sharp and reflexive, leapt from the vehicle. With that decisive action, our winter hunt concluded safely and completely. Relief washed over us as we made our way back to the village. Harsh conditions or not, the team had done their duty. Winter peace had been restored. But we remained ready for any threat, no matter how small. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Every step of our hunt follows U.S. hunting regulations.